In today's video, I'm going to show you from start to finish on how I go about cooking the best tasting rotisserie chicken right here at home with my charcoal barbecue grill using a battery operated rotisserie motor, and how I went and DIY customized my barbecue grill so that way I can use my rotisserie motor. So if this is something you're interested in learning, let's get into it. Of course, the first thing we have to do is go downstairs and get our chicken out of the freezer, right? So let's go do that. We got two freezers right here, and I believe we got them in here. Let's check this out. We actually have a couple of chickens. Which one should I pick? This one I think looks good right here. Here is the chicken that we got out of the freezer, and I actually put it on the scale here so you guys can see. It's 6.35 pounds. So let's put it in the sink over here so that way it can defrost. And my rule of thumb is I take it out 2 days in advance, so that way it has 24 hours to defrost. And then tomorrow night I will go ahead and season this bad boy up, and then I will put it in the fridge for another 24 hours before I even cook it.
We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now.
Let's take a look at my rotisserie motor right here. It's battery operated with 4 AA batteries, has an on and off switch right here at the end, and this thing is very strong. You can get it at Wild West Charcoal. He has it listed on his website. I'm going to share the link down below so you guys can potentially order that. When I was checking it on my phone, the website wouldn't show the product itself, but I'm going to check on my computer. Maybe that's available there. But after I'm done, I'll be putting that in that container right there, and then just putting it in the fridge so that way it stays cool, so that way the chicken doesn't get ruined. I think my chicken is defrosted. We took it out yesterday, as I said in my previous clip. So today I'm going to show you, these are the seasonings and salt that I use. I use real salt by Redmond or however you say it, and then I just put it in a container like this, and I have it marked on there. And then I also use this kind of spice or seasoning, whatever you want to call it, and I love this Montreal chicken seasoning, is really good. I also have that for beef as well. So let me put that aside a little bit, and I brought out my spear already, and I have my chicken right here. As you guys saw, I put it in the sink here. So let me get this thing out of here so I can take the chicken out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the spear. That's usually what I do. Oh, she's nice and clean. And I already have this section preset, so I know I don't have to adjust that. I just go in there real nice and easy like that, and then I put it in the sink so that way I have room to work with it usually, and I can go and put it however I want. Let me see here. Sometimes this is a bit tricky, but because you kind of want to, I kind of like to have the legs sort of in that spear right there. There we go. Got it real nicely in there. So now the legs are in there. You guys can see it's nice and open in there. Usually what I do is I put a couple of, like a stick of butter inside of here as well. So let me get this other piece. Here it is. And then I'll use this piece, put it right here at the end, and we'll get this nicely fastened up here, as long as this doesn't slip away from me. So there we go. Let's get this put in here, hopefully. Let me turn this around. There we go. That's much better. So there we go. And then I just take it and tighten this up real nice and tight, and then she's good to go. So usually I'll put her right in here, and then I can rotate her. As you guys can see right there, she is rotating really nicely. I like it. And then what I do, I gotta get this out of here. Oh, there it is. I forgot to get this out in advance. I have like twine like this. You can buy it on Amazon real cheap. I think this was, like 1,000 or whatever feet or even more. So then usually what I'll do is I'll go get my stick of butter. I'll put it in here, and then I'll use this twine to tie onto here, and then I'll have this rotate. I'll show you here. All right, I got my butter out. I always go with real butter. I don't do any of this margarine stuff. So I just usually take a nice chunk like that, and I'll just cut it into a couple of pieces like that, and then I will stick these into the chicken. I'll probably use another one here. Usually go about 2 pieces depending on how I feel, but yeah, usually just cut them up like that, and then I'll go and just throw them right in there, so that way they are really nicely deep in there, as many as I can get in there. Let's see here how many I can get in there. Just take your hand and stick them right in there. Usually works really nice, and this will keep them nicely lubricated, or gives it a really nice flavor as well, in my opinion. There we go. I'll put my butter away, and then I will take my twine here, and I will tie it up here. All right, here we go. I have tied the string onto the rotisserie stick there, and then what I usually want to do is kind of hold it in place, because I want to do this section here first to try and keep the butter inside my chicken, right? So I just kind of hold it as the motor is rotating this chicken right here. I'll probably go with another twist around here, and then we'll go and just let it rotate real slowly. We'll take care of that here in just a minute. I'll hold this real nicely there. I know sometimes I use 2 hands to do this, so yeah, look at that, pretty easy. I just let it rotate. So let's get this bad boy over here. Didn't quite get to him on time there, but there we go. This thing wants to slide away from me, but that's all right. Everything is slippery with chickens, right? So let me go ahead and do this. I'll just continue rolling this around here for a little bit. This thing is having a tough time turning it, because this is a big chicken, as you guys saw, right? It was 6.3 pounds. I'm just going to go all the way around the end here and just clip this tail in a little bit, this tail piece right there, and then we'll come and get a little bit further up here. Oh, come on, there we go. I'll go around up here one more time yet as well, and then that will be done, I think. Might go around that wing one more time on that side there, because that thing is sticking out a little bit. I just kind of go by feel, or whatever you want to call it. Let me see what I can do here with this wing. Maybe I can do something like that, and then just come across this way here, and then you get the idea. You get a nice tied up chicken right that. So I think that's about it. I'll go ahead and tie it up over here. All right, as you guys can see, she's all nicely tightened up. So then I'll go ahead and usually put the salt on first, and I just go along here as this is rotating here. Oh, come on, stay open. There we go. I'll just go around and season this up real nicely like this, and then I'll let it marinate overnight, and we'll cook her up tomorrow for supper. That's the plan. There we go. Let me just put it like this here real quick as well. Get this end here real good as well. Same thing with the other end here. Get a real nice seasoning on here, and that should be a really nice season right there. All right, let's go with this Montreal chicken seasoning right here. Oh, that's the wrong end. That wasn't the end that I wanted. I didn't even look, but anyhow, that's all right. Only the good stuff will stay on there, right? We'll season it up real nicely over here. We'll just kind of move that around a little bit. We'll get this baby seasoned up real nicely. I love the taste of this season right here. I'll do the same thing here. Get the ends here as well. So all of that is really nicely seasoned up. And then we'll be able to enjoy a really good tasting chicken tomorrow. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to that. That is for sure. All right, we'll use this here as well, and then we'll be done with this. This is just a really fine white powdery stuff. I really like the taste of this stuff. It just seems to make this chicken really nice and tender. So yeah, there we go. She's all seasoned up. Then I just go ahead and put her right in here like this. Put my lid on there. And I have a fridge out there in the garage. I go put it in the fridge so it stays nice and cool, so the meat doesn't go bad, and that will marinate overnight for the next 24 hours. I will cook her tomorrow, so we'll be back then. It is the very next day, and I took out the chicken so that way it can get up to room temperature. Just put it here in the house. So let's go outside and fire up the barbecue grill. All right, guys, we just fired up the grill, and we of course always used West Wild charcoal. Absolutely premium quality. And I'm also going to show you how I rednecked this barbecue grill so you can actually use the spear. As you guys might be able to see, there's a hole through the grill right there. And what I did is I cut a little bit of a groove right into here so that way the spear can lay right in there. And I also put a couple of grooves right in there so that way the motor and with those forks can sit in there, so that way I can have everything through there. So it's a little jerry rig, whatever, just use the regular grinder, you know, cutter, whatever you want to call it. So let's fire up the grill. Let that thing get up to temperature a little bit, and then we'll put our chicken on here. Get that all cooked really nice tonight. I have put the chicken on here a while ago. Let's check on the temperature. I think that is looking pretty good, just the way I like it. I'm keeping this closed today because it is very, very windy out here today. At least every once in a while, and there's some fairly dark clouds starting to roll in over there. You guys might be able to see it's pretty windy. But let's check on the meat. And the reason why I put this stick right here is because you remember I have the hole in the back here for the spear, and that's a little bit lower. So then what happens is when this is rotating, it's wanting to go in further because it's on an angle downward, right? So then I put this here because there is a small bolt right here, and if that goes in there, then it hooks against there, and then it doesn't want to spin properly anymore, right? But oh my goodness, check out this beauty right here. We got a good amount of charcoal in there yet. Oh man, is that looking real nice and golden brown. Yikes, I'm telling you, this is the best tasting chicken you guys are ever gonna have. I'm still gonna let it go for a little bit, and that what you see down there is some butter and fat and whatever that's rolled down. So let me just put this back in place so we are good to go. But yeah, I cut the grass today, did a little bit of yard work. Now it's time to just wait till this is done for supper, and then we'll have us an amazing tasting chicken roasted right here at home. You guys can do it as well. It will be amazingly good tasting. All right, guys, it is time to check on the meat here. Ooh, that baby is looking really nice and juicy. And I think that thing is done. What do you guys think? I would like to say that that thing is ready to go. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be a good supper. I decided to take out a nice little lamb steak as well. Gonna cook that up for me for tomorrow to take with me to work. Why not? So I hope that you guys have enjoyed me showing you from start to finish on how you can cook a really nice, perfect cooked chicken like that at home. And you enjoyed my whole process on how I went about it and all of that stuff. So if you did, don't forget to leave a big fat thumbs up. And if you made it this far and you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below if you're going to try this here eventually at home, and I would love to hear from you. So with that being said, I'm going to go in and let the wife know that this is ready to go, and then we'll have us a nice supper, and we will see you guys again on the next one.
Ese hombre está mal, es muy adicto a lo que diga la gente. Rico de money, pero pobre de su madre.